that greeting leads to closeness, and closeness leads to friendship, and then leads to relationship. If you don't greet someone, you can't be close to the person. It's obvious. First of all, before you even talk to someone, you have to greet first. Hello, good afternoon, how are you doing? Before any other can be initiated, and then that closeness is there. And then when that closeness is there, it leads to friendship, and then from friendship to a relationship. So in all the world, Africans are the highest in greeting one another. It's a verifiable fact. In all the world, Africans are the highest in greeting one another. Calling somebody by his name or her or by her name and greeting him or her with a smile and hearty speech will melt his or her heart. Greetings tells how your heart is towards a person. There is a way you will greet someone, that person will open up and you will have access to his heart. Even a phone call alone to say, how are you doing, can make a wounded soldier stand up again and strong. I don't know if you believe that, but it's true. Just, reaching out. I know some of us must have had that scenario where you just greeted someone and voila, it's like a miracle. It's like you did something. It's like a charm that you just, sprayed on someone and the person comes alive and you're asking, what just happened? But it's just, greeting has a way of making someone, the person you greeted, feel you are concerned. It has a way of getting people close, and like we said, it makes a wounded soldier stand up again and strong, especially greetings that are sincere, that comes from a heart, a good heart, that show care. Greetings as one of the highest and best African culture cannot be thrown away. It is a doorway to a man's heart. Appreciating and good greeting that you give to someone will spur him or her and inspire him to do more. Always remember what people have done for you and greet them for it. Here in Nigeria, one of the tribes we know that are so good in, greeting, thanking. And the Yoruba tribe, you need to see where they greet you. I lived there for a number of years. One character of a Yoruba man is, if you do, maybe you grant a Yoruba man a favor, the Yoruba man never forgets it. He will see you today, he will say, hey, thank you, Shego, God bless you for what you did for me. He will even lie down. And then, maybe another day, next tomorrow, he says, hey, oh God, thank you. That thing that you did for me that day, it was really helpful. And then you're telling him, it's okay, now it's okay. The man will see you next day. Oh God, that thing that you did for me. Hey, oh God, you don't know what he did for me. So, and then the saying in Yoruba is that if you greet someone for what he did, you don't know if that will open another door for something else, if that person wants to do you good. So that's the secret. So when we learn to appreciate people, it has a way, to spur them to do more. You understand? So one of the our famous man, Martin Luther King Jr. said, when the storm is over, we will forget the words of our enemies, but we will not forget the silence of our friends. That is those who should have spoken to us in our difficult times but kept quiet. Let your life, as we relate with people, leave an impression in their lives. You know, you don't just step into people's life and not be useful and not be effective. A popular preacher, Joshua Selman, will say that when you have people who are of value, who are willing to stick, who are willing to give their lives for you, people who will see you in prison and tell you, don't worry, come out of prison, I will stay in the prison for you. He said that if you cannot add value to their lives, at least learn to be grateful. So what it means is that you don't be in someone's life and you are empty. The place of either being effective, how do you become effective? I will tell us stories even as we continue to show these things I'm saying. But how do you become effective? You see a lonely man, a child, and you pass that child every day without nothing. The child has no memory, no exciting memory of you. No, 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 no. Hello, baby girl, you look so fine. How was school? Hope you are doing well. How is your teacher treating you? That child will never forget you. And whenever he or she is coming back from school, he will be excited to look at your window. Hey, where is that auntie? Where is that uncle that used to ask me how I am doing? Asking someone how he's doing has a way of feeling. It has a way of, it's like a cold water you pour on a hot heart. Honestly. So that's be effective in people's lives. And then if you feel you don't have time to, hello, how are you? And then if you have people who are willing to stake their lives for you, people who call you every day, how are you? Are you fine? How is work? How is family? At least if you cannot call them back, learn how to say thank you. Madam, thank you. The way you ask after me is really, really precious, and it's been so exciting, and I enjoy a relationship with you. Let that person know that this thing he or she is doing is really, really doing so much for you. Be grateful. Understand? Be grateful. So I will tell us a story of what happened. Let's say how all these things, how greeting has impacted people's lives. When we're introducing this topic, we said the result of greeting. So we'll see the result. So this incident happened in Enugu. So it was the person who was involved in the incident that was telling the story. It's a woman who is working in a particular office. We don't know the exact office, but she was telling a story. So she said that a particular man in her office is always aggressive and unresponsive, even to the greetings and extension of relationship from the co-workers at her office. This attitude of his, as you know, pushed away everyone from him. Others thought him unimportant and saw no essence of continuing a relationship with him. That's that man that is unresponsive. So the narrator of the story said that even when the man does not respond to her greetings, she continued in her greetings until after some time, this man broke down and then he began to answer her greetings, and then opened up and said to the woman, God has used you to help me. I am really angry with God. Why would God treat me the way he did? Obviously by this statement, it implied that this particular man had been a very good believer as a young man in his university days. So as his day went by, he stumbled on a life circumstance which made him believe God has offended him. At this point, it is a human fact that if a man is angry with God, every human around him will become automatically enemies. Automatic enemies. Oh, yes, obviously. If a man feels offended with God, he feels that every other human will behave like God. So he reacts to people the same way he would react to God out of anger. And this is the cause of the man's reaction. So we now understand the perspective where the man, what caused him to be behaving the way he was. So this woman's greeting, that is the co-worker who is telling us this story, changed this man and made him come back as a Christian with fire. So we don't know the rest of the story, but we know that there was a great step into a transformed life by this woman's greeting. If she hadn't persisted, or if she had said, okay, this man is none of my concern, like other staff said, that this man is unimportant to them, there wouldn't have been a transformed life. Like even the Bible said that he that winneth a soul is wise. You understand? So our homes can be a changing point and an incubation for a life to get better. There is a reward from God for even that unidentified works that you do for God quietly. So people may not know these things that you do. Showing care to people can be a secret way of, I care about you, I love you, It may not just be to our family members, even people, strangers you see, you don't know the healing you are granting to their soul. You don't know how you brighten up somebody's day by just saying, hey, good morning, and have a nice day today. No, you know. So I will tell us another story. In this particular story, it happened at a cooling company. So one day, the narrator of the story was telling the story. So I was listening. So the narrator said, one day as I was about to close work, so I went around to check all the cooling rooms. So the narrator of the story is now the one talking. Now let me continue the story from where I stopped quoting her. She entered one of the cooling rooms and accidentally the electronic door of the room jammed and locked from outside. And you know what this means? Being locked inside a cooling room, like a cooling room, a freezing room. It's really dangerous. So the woman was stuck there. So now something else happened. This can lead to her death. But on that same day, within that number of hours, something else happened. At the gate of the company is a gatekeeper. The staff kept leaving and going home. But out of all this, a woman was missing. She has not passed the gate. So the gatekeeper stood up and went into the company, opening all the rooms, including the cooling rooms. And suddenly he opened a particular door that woman was stuck in. Behold, the woman was almost freezing to death. The woman came out. So she asked the gatekeeper, how did you know I'm here? The gatekeeper answered, I saw all other staff going, but I couldn't find you going because you are the only staff who greets me when you are coming to work and when you are leaving. This is a gatekeeper, a commoner who is at the gate. Other staff must have considered him to be someone who is far below their level, so they don't bother whether they greet him or not. But this woman, her greeting is what is saving her. So the gatekeeper continued to tell the woman, so I've not seen you. I then thought that something must be wrong. I decided to come to look for you. So now the end of the story is that imagine this gatekeeper didn't come back looking for this woman. That's how this woman would have been declared dead. And what saved her? The fact that she's the only one who greets this gatekeeper. And then she didn't know what these greetings were doing to the heart of the gatekeeper, to the point that this gatekeeper is always anticipating this woman's greeting every day. So obviously that particular evening, he didn't see this woman pass the gate and greet him. And then he knew that something was wrong. So This is what greeting heals. Greeting tells people I care about you, I love you. Even if others don't, I am here for you. And those same people, like when we introduced them, we said that greeting leads to closeness, and then from it to friendship and to relationship. You understand? You cannot have a relationship with someone you don't greet. You cannot be friends with someone you don't greet. So the first step to having a good relationship with people is a nice and hearty greeting. You understand? So the there is power in a sincere and indiscriminatory greeting. You understand? I pray that God will use your greetings to say the right word for the season in anybody's life. Your greeting may be an answer to someone's prayer. So I'm hoping that from today we'll learn how to say a very good hi, I love you. I just called to check up on you. Hope you are fine. Hello, how are you feeling today? Hope the injections are not getting so painful. Please recover fast. These things has a way of feeling people so. Hello, I know that you are going to pass, I know that you are going to overcome this circumstance, and we are right here for you. If you need anybody, we are right here for you. Hello, good morning, sir. Have a nice day today. Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing, baby? You know, late. And the more you greet people heartily, the more you become even excited and more alive. It's like you're exuding, bright environment, light to so many people. And guess what? People will always want to be around you because there is this life you give them. So I'm expecting that after today, we will become a hearty greeter. A hearty greeter, like you greet people out of joy, knowing that this greeting has something it does in their lives. We can see the stories we looked at. So in this season, learn to greet people, learn to bring healing with your words, and the more you do that, you will see that you'll be receiving the effect and the result, and the results are always so beautiful. It's always full of testimonies and excitement. So see you next time when we talk about other things. Enjoy your day. Bye.